Let's talk about what happened out here. Cooper was mowing, tractor fell in a big old hole, and it snapped the front end off. We got Zach over here today. He's chopping out a wall here. We need to get this auger here down further in this wall. What we're gonna do, we got a wall here, some cement, and we can't get our one auger down low enough. I wish there was an easier way to get all this rock out of here. I wonder if I can get the backhoe in here. Bear with us, bear with us. I know some of this looks probably beyond goofy, and it is goofy, but trust me, when we get done, it will work for at least maybe 2 days. Hopefully, it will move 150,000 bushels of corn, but we never know. This was kind of set up temporarily quite a few years ago, and we're still using it. Like I said, we probably need to do some updating now that we had all this storm damage, and a lot of that comes down to money.
All right, this morning we are going to go off and do some more crop scouting. We got Jamie from Nutrient Ag Solutions with us, so I guess we're going to see what we find with some more fields. By the way, when we're with Jamie gets about 7,000 phone calls a day, so you're going to hear his phone ringing a lot. And we have dewy corn that we're going to walk through. Jamie, you broke my corn!
That's just it. I'm real concerned about stock intactness when it comes time to harvest. I know this isn't what you guys probably want to hear, but I feel as though once that corn's 26%, you're probably going to want to get out here. Besides the wind damage though, as far as disease, the plants are fairly healthy. They do not have a lot of disease that have set in yet.
One thing I kind of noticed here in this field especially, these leaves aren't really all tattered up like some of our other fields have been. The field we're on right now is what we call tabletop. Now overall, I think the harvestability of this will be okay. The corn head should be able to get under a lot of this, but there are going to be stalks like this that are on the ground and we're not going to be able to get. All right, Jamie, you got kind of a funny look in here. What's going on?
Just had some pollination issues for some reason. Just didn't pollinate on those few silks there due to lack of moisture, maybe some clipping of silks of insects.
We can tell that this had pollination issues because of how the kernels formed. The kernels on this side of it are not very uniform, and we have a spot that don't have any kernels at all. This is what a normal ear of corn should look like. It's nice and uniform. Hey Jamie, you got a yield prediction for this field?
I would say probably in around that 180.
We've pretty much looked at everything we need to look at here. I'll try not to fall over as I'm walking and talking. We're gonna go check out a couple more fields though.
Cooper just called. He's out in a drawaway mowing hay, and he said he just snapped the front axle on the tractor. We're gonna run over there and see what we need for tools, and then we'll probably have to come back, get the skid loader, the fork, some impact tools, and we'll see if we can get that tore apart. It looks like it's in a hole, but there isn't a hole there. The front axle snapped. So now we're gonna try to figure out a way to get that lifted up, but today our goal is kind of get the mower off so he can get it on the other tractor. He wants to try to get done mowing. How much mowing you got yet to do?
Like 3 drawaways.
I don't know if we'll mess with the front end much today or not. We kind of got things we're doing. We want to try to back the tractor up a little bit so we can get the wheel out from underneath it. These little things are heavier than a guy thinks. Cooper thought he was just going along and the wheel ripped off. Pretty good indicator. There's a hole there, a big hole. I'd like to try to get the tractor out in the flat away from that hole. So we'll dump the tire on the trailer here and we'll go back and look at it. Sometimes some of this stuff you just gotta slow down a little bit and take it easy. I don't think it's sitting too good. It ain't sitting very good. It's just barely sitting on there. There's a hole, so I guess he's lucky he didn't fly out of the windshield and play Spider-Man. The way I look at it, we didn't have anything else to do till harvest, so we were just sitting around the lawn chairs. But what we're going to do right now is see if we can find the parts, hopefully from a salvage yard. Then we'll come out here, try to lift the front end, get her equal. I think we can rebuild it back. It's just today we're kind of busy and we don't have the parts here, so no use messing with it too much. Okay. Let's talk about what happened out here. Cooper was mowing, tractor fell in a big old hole, and it snapped the front end off. Sure, a guy could scream and yell and make a fool of himself. The way I look at it, it was a plain accident. It could have happened to me, could have happened to Cole. All right, let's get loaded up, get back to the farm and see if we can get some other stuff, non-torn up, but things to get done.
So now we're in the field that's right behind my house, and this actually looks to be standing a lot better. Not perfect, but better. It's kind of fun walking from one variety to the next because the corn has different characteristics. For example, some might be a really long ear and not a lot of kernels around, and others are really thick ear with a lot of kernels around but aren't very long. This particular one has really wide kernels. So right now this is still alive and it's growing, it's putting on weight, and nutrients are still being supplied to this. Here in about 2 weeks, once this hits physiological maturity, then it's going to black layer and then it's going to start to shut down. Then the ear is going to drop, it'll start to dry out, and then we'll be able to come in and harvest.
I'm a little concerned about ear retention.
I'm actually a little bit relieved to see this field in this condition. Out of the other fields that we've been in, they looked like they could be pretty rough when it comes to harvesting. But this one looks pretty good. Like I said, it doesn't look great, but it looks like we should be able to get in through here with the combine and get a large majority of this corn. We try to come into the field a little ways to get a better feel for how the field is actually doing, because the edge of the field has a lot more sunlight available to it and there's less competition going on, so those ears are able to get a lot bigger. That's why you can't really get a good prediction of how a field is doing just by driving by from the road. Right now we are in the Dynagrow field. This is number DG44VC40. It's a 104-day variety.
Very flexible hybrid. Handles a wide range of soils. I'm pretty sure the whole field probably looks like that.
Compared to some of the other fields that we've been in this year, this corn is a lot shorter. And honestly, we prefer shorter corn because A, it's not such a kite up there for wind to blow over. And it's also a lot easier to harvest because there's less corn stalk that has to go through the corn head. And also, in my opinion, if we have a corn stalk that's 15 feet tall, that's a lot of wasted nutrients that's just going into plants. So we just popped out of the Dynagrow field into one of our bean fields. And looking down these rows, we have a lot of sunlight between them. By this time of the year, these should be bushed together and this should just all be green. We think we had a little drift come across onto our beans and it caused these to be stunted. Makes them nice for walking through though, doesn't it, Jamie? In our area, Cornstar Farms has to call ourselves pretty lucky because a lot of our corn is still standing where we can get in there and harvest at least most of it. Some people around have fields like this. This field has been worked up with a disc because the corn was flat on the ground and they wouldn't have been able to harvest any of it, so they just came in and wiped out this field. Now that's hard to look at. That's enough corn and soybean talk for now. I'm gonna get started here on the yard again, do a little bit more final grading. We just have a little bit of sunlight left in the day, so I'm gonna try to get as much done as possible.
May I ask you what you're doing over here? I'm videoing Cole over there if you get out of the way. Well, I was just trying to figure out what you were doing here, Mr. Camera. If you can see, I'm filming Cole. He's in the skid loader. If you don't get out of my way, I'm gonna discamera you. All right, calm down. I'll get out of the way. You don't have to be so huffy. Nah, 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 nah. Cole's kind of got a low spot here in the yard, so he's trying to put some dirt in here to kind of bring it up a little bit.
We've had a pretty solid day so far, but we're gonna call it a little bit early. Neva and I got invited to go to a Bible study with some friends, and then we're gonna go out to eat with them afterwards. This could be one of the last days that we get to go do something until harvest is over, so we're gonna take full advantage of it.
Why is it that we're always running late to things, Cole?
I don't know why you're asking me. Before we go, I just wanted to remind everybody we do have merch available through the link in the description, and remember, if you guys enjoyed the video, don't forget to hit the thumbs up button. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you in the next one.